Hi guys, this is the fourth video on the series on how to get jobs at United Nations and other organizations. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about career.un.org. I'm going to cover the site. Also, I'm going to tell you how to answer the questions for your application, because it's not about sending your resume. You're going to have to answer every single question for every single job post you're going to try. So we're going to need to discuss this. Now, I understand that I have not yet explained everything about the level systems and the salaries and the contracts and stuff. So I'm going to discuss this in other videos, but I want to give you an idea of what it looks like so that you understand a little better when we're going to broach those subjects. All right, let's begin. So this is careers.un.org. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a few more pointers on other websites that you could use also, because honestly, there's a lot of UN agencies and not all of them list at careers.un.org. The link is going to be in the description below. I'm going to talk about the other links. So you're going to sign up, you're going to register. You've done that 100 times for 100 sites. Now, the idea is this. You will have to enter your information first. So where you're born, all the information, and your country, your family, and so on. Because once you are actually recruited, these information are very tough to change, and they know that you need to enter those first because they want to make sure that you don't cheat on your home leave. Now, how do you cheat on home leave? Well, let's say you're Filipino Canadian, for example, and you work in China. Well, it's much better to say that you live in Canada, because now you're going to have a 10-hour flight, so business class all the way to Canada, and you're going to make probably $10,000 per ticket, as opposed to say, well, I'm going to have Philippines as a home leave, so from China, maybe it's a 2-3 hour flight and maybe only $1,000. So a lot of people in the past used to do that. Now you can still do it somewhat to change your home leave, but it's very tough from within the UN system. All right, so once you fill all your information, let's say you're going to type, let's say, driver. So now you're going to have all the job for drivers. Now, I understand, like I said, I have not mentioned too much about the contract, the length, and so on. We're going to talk about that, but let's just give an example so you can understand. So let's say field security associate. This is a position. The duty station is going to be Port Moresby. This is in Papua New Guinea, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to click it. This is your job description. So first, the post was listed in March and it's going to end in June. So you have until June 8th to actually finish and submit. One day later, this post is going to be removed from the website. Now, you read the job description, you make sure 100% that you qualify for everything, okay? And that also you want to take that post because it's super important, right? We discussed duty station before in the last video. If you didn't see that, it's in the description below. You want to make sure that it's in a duty station that you can go with your spouse, or if you're a single and you're willing to go to a non-family duty station, fine. So once you apply, it's going to take you to this page. Now, here, you're going to have your post and all the information. You're going to click on next. Now, on this page, the only question you're going to be asked is, where did you hear about this post? Okay, you could click other, or you could say I Googled it or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now, here
job requirements.
All right, so this is how to apply. There's a small little video that I explain what I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to give you a bit more information. So these you have to fill. These are essays, okay, for each and everything they're looking for. Now, some of them, okay, are going to be, let's say, absolutely required. So let's say a minimum of 7 years of work experience in security risk and disaster and emergency area. Now, if you don't have that amount and you click, I do not meet that criteria, this is grayed out. The idea is that more than likely the computer is going to reject you because this is a minimum requirement. Now, you may have something here at the end, okay, in the last question that are going to be, let's say in Panama, Spanish, a requirement or something like that. Should you not have Spanish, that's okay. You could say I speak French or I'm learning it right now or something like that. But generally, this would be, like an ability. So are you able to travel in and outside the country? Maybe you don't want to travel. So if you don't want to travel, you don't have that ability, you're not interested, you click no. But if they need you to travel, you'll be automatically rejected. So this is not a requirement, but if you don't say yes, you'll be rejected. Same thing if, for example, they may ask, have you ever worked in Africa? Or this requires you to have worked in Africa, or suggested that you've worked in Africa for 4 years, just so that you have an idea. A lot of posts in the Middle East would say, 3 years of experience in the Middle East, because they want to make sure that you understand the culture, that you're okay working in the Middle East, because it's not easy. So in this case, if you don't accept that, you might be rejected. Do you possess a valid class 3 driver license? This is basically, you're going to have to check if you don't know about Papua New Guinea. If you don't possess the class, you can always get it. But the idea is this, okay? If you don't get it immediately, you're going to have to say no. If you already have it, then fine. If you're an American and you have the class 3 for truck driving and you know you'll be able to have an exchange, you can click yes. That's fine. Just click yes. Now, in these here, for example, this is an essay. So if they ask you for 7 years, here you don't answer yes. Here you're going to answer, yes, I already have 15 years of experience working as a, in a security risk management. I have worked in the United States. I have worked in Africa. I've worked in this country, that country, for this company, this organization. This is where you're going to put your information. Put as much as you can to make sure. But always start the first line with the number of year of experience or what they are asking you. Okay, so for example, experience in using Microsoft application, Outlook, Word, Excel, whatever. You would start with, yes, I have 10 years of experience using Excel and Outlook and so on. You don't put like all kinds of information that's not relevant. You want the person to immediately just look at it and say, yeah, this guy has that information. Next. Oh yeah, he has that prior experience in the UN system. Boom. That's it. You want to be able to mention that, like international NGOs and stuff. You want to mark which NGO, how many years of experience for which country. You want to detail that to make sure that the person that reads this very quickly is going to be able to see. Now, you can write up to 1,000 characters, but I recommend that you do 3 or 4 line maximum. People will have hundreds of CVs to read through. They don't have time to look into all these details. So make sure that you try not to have too many do not meet criteria, because if you don't meet the criteria, you'll be eliminated. So you best look for another type of jobs that does not require these things that you do not have. And as there's a lot of job posting, I think you should go to another post, and that's it. And another thing too, you will also, when we're going to talk about the level system, here you're going to discover quickly or not where you're fitting in the level system. Because the idea is this: if you see a lot of things that require 7 years, but you just started, you just graduated, then you know you're too high in level now. You're trying to go for example, I don't know, a P3 job, when in reality you should go for P2 because you don't have the number of years of experience. So go to jobs that have less. Same thing if they ask for a master's degree, try to find a job that only has, let's say, a bachelor's degree or a high school degree if that's what you have. That's not a problem. They're going to be lower level and you can increase later down the road. Now, when you're going to click next, okay, the languages you speak and stuff like that, this is because they say here I did not add it because I didn't add my profile. I did not complete my profile. If I had completed my profile correctly with all this would have autofill here. And you're better doing this because you're going to have a lot of applications, so you don't want to have to fill this all the time. So same thing with your experience, your reference, and everything else. You're going to add all this in your profile, and that's going to autofill one by one. Now, in some cases, you may want to change your reference. Okay, for example, if you're applying in a security job and your references that you have selected are more for another job, let's say in military service or driving or something else, well, you may want to change your reference in accordance with what you're applying for. But other than that, they could stay static. Your experience technically does not really change, but you can change that experience to more match what your application. So you read the job description, change your experience in accordance to that. Of course, I'm not saying lying. I'm saying you may not have added this appropriate experience based on the job description for a previous job. Now you want to do it on that one, and you'll be able to basically fill them also from record, because they're going to ask you, like, do you want to fill from existing profile? You can save your different profile. Now, I understand that career.un.org is the top site. Basically, every single job is mostly there, but not all of them. Okay, so you might want to check. Also, understand this. Okay, WHO, ICAO in Montreal, for example, the International Civil Aviation Organization, ILO in Geneva, the International Labor Organization. These are all United Nations organizations. They're the same job profile. They have the exact same benefit. They have the same pension fund. all this common here. They just don't have the word UN before it, United Nations. Like, for example, you would have with UNESCO or UNICEF, UNDP, UNFPA. These are UN and you can see it in the name, but they're no less UN because it's WHO or FAO, for example, the food program. All these are basically the same organization under the same umbrella. They answer to the Secretariat in New York under Gutierrez. It's just that they don't have UN in front of them. So when you see those, understand that you're going to apply for the UN, not a different organization. You're going to have the same benefit. Yes, again, it's not the Secretariat, but you're still going to have the UN passport and everything else that goes along with it. So that's it. So you have to check those sites as well. I'm going to list as many as possible in the description below. So thanks guys, I hope that was useful. In the next video, we're going to start talking about salaries and contracts so that you understand a little bit better and see where you're fitting actually in the UN system with your experience right now. What are the chances that you can actually get a job with which level? And don't worry, okay, even if you have zero experience, you're just out of school or you've never worked for the UN, there are level entry jobs. Okay, I understand that you may not get a P4 post when we're going to talk about P4 posts, but you can definitely get a G post, which is general service staff, or F post, which is basically the field service post that you are basically able to apply for. If you go for field 2, field 3, then that's possible to apply for it. They have it all the way to 7. You may not be able to get to 7 on the first trial because you need 15 years of experience, but basically FS1 is only like entry level, 1 year of experience, maybe less. So this you'll be able to apply for. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about in the next video. So subscribe to the channel, give me the thumbs up, click on the link on the screen now, and let's get to the next video.